Another Brexit betrayal is here, everyone. This time orchestrated by the Labour Party and the shadow cabinet. We take a one-day break for Christmas and the whole country's going down. We have so many updates for you guys today from all corners of the country and a lot of weird news stories, including Brexit betrayal, which reminds me, hope you all had an amazing Christmas with your loved ones and your family members and everybody. And my thoughts are with those who couldn't have a warm and good Christmas this year. Now, let's get into the show because the whole of the stability that we've been proud of, the establishment have been proud of, is going down because they don't even know who is currently the guardian of independent Britain. We are technically independent, technically sovereign, technically still tied to EU laws. But that aside, we are no longer a member of the European Union. But the fight is back, as usual. I've been saying this since 2016 and even 2019 onwards. I mentioned, well, let's celebrate the freedoms that we've got. But in reality, do not get complacent because you will accidentally surrender. These people are not going to give up the fight. They're going to continue these Ramonas and Rejoiners until we are back inside the European Union, which will have massive negative consequences. It's not just about our democracy. It's not just about all the changes that we made over the last few years, everything from all the business industries and sectors, and of course, financially, everything will change. But, fun fact, they don't care about any of this. They only care about their own stability. Now, of course, when it comes to financial stability, which hits the economy, I'm going to be talking about that because there's only one way. Whether you're concerned about cashless society or fiat currency just completely not being stable, the best thing to do is to invest in gold and commodities, which we're going to discuss in a second, actually. But first things first, let's go to the Labour Party's shadow cabinet. One of the shadow cabinet members have said, over the long run, I can see Britain being a member of the EU again, or at least having an economic relationship that's essentially the same thing. Oh, interesting. They finally said it. We've been ranting about this for years, about the fact that even if you have the close economic ties with the single market, you are essentially inside the European Union. And until now, they've been telling us that we are the crazy ones with our tinfoil hats on, because it's not the same thing. Well, now, the Labour Shadow Cabinet, they say it's the same thing. We'll be fine. We're going to be inside the European Union. Now, you can see the orchestrated efforts because these plans were semi-leaked before. But you can see it's not just inside the Labour Party, but of course, the mainstream press and media also pushing for it slowly over the last few weeks. They can tell that the arrogance is coming. Keir Starmer's leading in the opinion polls is likely to win. Nothing is guaranteed. There could be a hung parliament situation, of course. But they can see that, well, we could potentially have a Keir Starmer Prime Minister. So let's start planting the seed in people's minds. This is what they're doing. Financial Times, for example, said, Keir Starmer must plot a bold route back to Europe for Britain. I am sick and tired of these people using the word Europe instead of European Union. But despite their efforts in 2016, they still lost the referendum. That is very impressive. How bad do you have to be that your brainwashing still failed, your rigging the system still failed, and here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Now, at the same time, the Tory party are using their own propaganda machine to, of course, keep pushing for the Project Fear, saying, well, I think this is the time to do it. Both The Guardian, in the interest of the Labour Party, and the Tory party, for the interest of the Tory family, they are pushing this narrative. The senior Tories risk losing their seats if Nigel Farage returns to politics. This is according to so-called experts. Now, experts. Who are these experts? Now, we know that if Nigel Farage comes back, even without Nigel Farage, Reform UK are coming up anyway. Slowly, there's still a small third party. But the idea is that they're going to bring back Project Fear. like in every single election, saying, you're going to split the vote. You do realize the concept of splitting the vote used to exist when you're leading, when you're the party leading in the election or opinion poll, and you say, well, it's probably best not to split the vote because second party, Labour Party, could come back up. The Tory party are going so down, they're now going close to being the third party. So I'm not really sure if anyone's going to be splitting the Tory party. The Tory party is not entitled to those votes. It's just up for grabs. So if they're good enough, they could convince the public to vote for them. If Reform UK are good enough, they could convince the public to vote for them. If the idiots at Liberal Democrats are good enough, which they won't be, they could convince the people to vote for them. That's just how it works. It's called democracy. You can't just tell people, call them and say, please, can you not stand against me? That's not democracy. That's rigging the system again. Now, everything is about the consequences of the European Union. We know that. We know that with the globalist idiots in charge of our establishments, they can't handle anything. And the whole system is going down because some people want it to be brought down anyway. And it's in their interest to start from scratch and create their own dystopia. Now, we have to take care of ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We know financial matters do matter, in fact. Now, when it comes to the currency, when it comes to Bank of England, when it comes to digital currency, when it comes to all the other idiotic stuff that they're doing, we have to protect ourselves. That's why we have a new partnership on this channel with the Pure Gold Company. This is not a paid advertising thing. We just have a new partnership, part of our campaign. The best thing you can do is genuinely invest in gold. Now, whether you're worried about cashless society, whether you are just concerned about the central banking system not being stable like in 2007, 2008, the best thing to do is hide your money in gold, because gold doesn't crash as a commodity. It never crashes. At best, it goes up. Like in 1970s when people invested in gold, it went up by 1,000%. At worst, it will be a safe saving account, because if you put your money in savings accounts or in investment portfolios linked to banks go down, your money disappears. But in reality, with gold, with especially Pure Gold Company, because they're going to give you a dedicated account manager and a certificate, so we know everything is safe and is physical. It's a physical asset. That's the best way to do it. If banks crash, gold remains safe. Now, it doesn't matter how much investment you want to actually make, even if you have a lot of money, or if you don't have a lot of money, just a little bit is still fine, because this is about the future. A lot of people use it for their pensions in the future or just for their grandchildren. And good news, no tax linked to this. But as I said, this is not paid advertising for me. This is just a new partnership that I have with the Pure Gold Company. I have a link in the description, a dedicated link with my name on it. If you click on that, just have a look. You could order some more information from them. You can have a chat with them. But definitely consider investing in this instead of the central banking system that is bringing everything down on a daily basis. Don't allow the nutters to have control over your lives. You should control your life. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to come back every half an hour. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.